in progress. We are. So we'll zoom in, get you an idea of what the battlefield does look like. Both these players 4 and 1. Nance on your left, King on your right. Nance has a Reflector Mage.
Nice.
He's got a Thalia. And these two creatures look like they're attacking. Vial on 3 and 2. Also a Grafdigger's Cage apparently on the battlefield. And Meddling Mage is naming Fatal Push. Kevin King's only got 2 lands in the battlefield here. He's got a Blood Crypt along with a Watery Grave and a Young Pyromancer. However, spells are more expensive thanks to that Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. For Hunter Nance's side of things, it looks like only 1 land.
Thalia is, I think, a great card right now.
Yeah.
These Death Shadow decks are all, they're thinning their decks out of lands and playing a bunch of 1 mana discard spells. Thalia's at its best there.
There is Death Shadow.
And also Storm is very prevalent right now as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Nance is going to untap. Vial's on 3 and 2. He's going to leave it there. He'll draw a card here in just a moment. Again, just 1 land here for Hunter. So Vials are working overtime.
Could really use a creature with flying.
Yeah, Mantis Rider, perhaps? Is that the one you're thinking of? Instead, all you can do is pass the turn back over to Kevin King. Kevin will draw a card. Kevin may be getting a little bit more stable now at this point. As I mentioned, both these players are 4 and 1. Very healthy records here deep into day number 1 of competition. And for King, we normally see him play lands in Legacy, but no Legacy as part of the Invitational this go around. Hello, Young Pyromancer. I would block with Thalia. Oh boy. Is this okay, sure, makes sense. A Pyroclasm will take care of a couple of threats, and I think most notably it's going to get that Thalia off the battlefield.
Now your hand's a lot more freed up, and yeah, no reason to value the Young Pyromancer at all if you're going to be Pyroclasming anyway.
So King loses a little bit of life to search up some land, and now Nance will draw a card. Nance will play a Horizon Canopy and sacrifice that.
Horizon Canopy used to draw a card.
Really? What'd you buy, Nick? Like some Buffalo Wild Wings or something?
Available at 2 locations in the Roanoke area.
That's right. That's just called branding, folks. It's called branding. We're going to go back over to King, it appears, here in just a moment.
And if Nance is not doing anything with these vials, and I have to imagine his hand's just a lot of land at this point. This is bad news. It looked like King was kind of on the ropes and being disruptive, but if he's drawing out now after stalling on lands early.
King with a polluted Delta, and he's happy enough to attack with Death Shadow. Here we go.
So part of the motivation here is also to clarify what's going on, see if Nance will use the vial inside of combat to do anything.
Sure. Well, it looks like he will not, so he'll take a healthy amount of damage, will Nance. He's down to 6. Gurmag Angler, the follow-up. This will be a Vial on 2. There's Thalia. Nance wanting to know if he can go back to his turn just yet. Not sure that's the case.
If he's got Fatal Push in hand, I would much rather save it for, say, a Mantis Rider off the top than do anything about this Thalia.
Up to 4, up to 3. Interesting. Draw a card. Any 2-mana spell he can cast because he's holding lands. I think he may have just drawn Reflector Mage. I think. There's Cavern. Likely naming Human.
Well, whatever's going on in his hand is going to get forced in combat next turn.
Here's a 2-mana spell. Thalia's Lieutenant was the draw. I mean, the last card in his hand is Unclaimed Territory.
Yeah, if I'm in King's spot here, I'm pretty confident the last card in Nance's hand is nothing.
Yeah.
You would have seen that Lieutenant, at some point in this game, almost certainly that was his draw step. And he's had plenty of opportunities to vial in any relevant card.
And if he had a creature in his hand, he would have vialed it in pre-Lieutenant, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever King wants to play around in terms of Nance's draw steps, that's whatever he wants to do. But if I'm in his seat right now, I just don't believe there's a relevant card in his hand that affects combat, and I would play accordingly.
You see life totals here, 6-5, close game. Death Shadow in 8-8. With the potential for so much more. Engineered Explosives for 2. Kaboom. Lieutenant and Thalia. Goodbye. Here's the attack. Lethal. Got a block. All right. Angler going to knock Nance down to 1. Reflector Mage bites the dust. Nance will draw a card. It's going to have to be a real good one to get himself out of this. 2 mana. There's Athalia's Lieutenant. Lethal attack, and that is going to do it. Kevin King going to win this match here over Hunter Nance. 2-1. Grixis Death Shadow able to hold on in a game that was looking very tough for Kevin King, taking down Hunter in his Humans deck, which means that King moves up to 5-1. Nance going to slide down to 4-2.
I think it's really